It's a beautiful day, folks. And when I say it's a beautiful day, it's because we're off out for a hike and a camp. Yes, we are out in the van though. But for now, let's keep this intro short. I've got to nip to Aldi, get some food, and I've got to get to go outdoors as well, because I need to buy a new rug. So the last rug, when I was with Andy, which you'll probably see in a future video, it's disgusting, mate. There was condoms on the floor used, and there was dog shit brought into my van. So I've got to go and buy a new carpet. I ain't washing that. Let's go. Right, well, for the time being then, we're at the little RV point. We're waiting for Brendan Explorers to turn up. One person's already turned up. Can you see him? What I will do, every time he speaks in this video, I will put subtitles on, because sometimes it is a little bit difficult to understand, but if you're watching this ad, I've figured you out by now, mate. So we're up Salop Leisure. Let's wait for the goons and let's get up to one of our favourite locations in the Shropshire Hills, and we're going for a good hike with some awesome views. And that's it, folks, we have arrived. This is the top of Plush Hill, and one absolute belter of a place this is. If you watched one of my previous videos where I did something about van life accessories, this was the place where I had it, and I was messing around on that electric scooter. Right, just to give you guys an idea then, this is the general gist where we are now. This is where we are planning on staying tonight. There is only one unfortunate thing though about here. There is no camping or overnight stays, it says. And this sort of stuff is really starting to bug me now. Just everything just seems to be getting bloody took away from us. So what's the difference from leaving our van here for 10 hours, going for a big hike around the Shropshire Hills, and then coming back, as opposed to having 10 hours in the van where there's not going to be any trouble getting... It really does pee me off, guys. But rant over, let's get up the Shropshire Hills for a nice walk. Let's crack on. Right, just to give you guys a bit of an idea what we're doing then. So we're making our way up to a place called Haddon Hill. I have been up there before, but it was back just before COVID when I started doing a lot of night hikes with Mr. Wild Astro. But again, it was winter, it was cold, it was dark, and we only had our head torches. But from what I can remember, there was a couple of flat places up there. So we're going to head up there now and just have a good look to see what it's like, because that for me could be one good potential wild camping area. Especially when you'll have views like this. So without further ado, let's get up there. And here we go, folks. We're just coming up to the last part of Haddon Hill. So hopefully, I'm hoping when I get up there, the views that I've actually promised you guys, I'm hoping that we'll be able to see when we go over. But if not, you got the valley down here. And all this here is the Longmynd, so you can see just up over there, the highest peak, that's Pole Bank. And you've got all your footpaths here, there's a couple of other hikers out. Yeah. Right, so we've arrived at Haddon Hill, and check this out. So this is on the north side of the Longmynd, and this is one place that I've never been up and wild camped, but look what we've just stumbled upon. So this is going to be on the books for future. Are you going to get back out in your tent again or not?
Do you think I would get the van up here?
No, you wouldn't, mate. Are you coming back out in your Banshee?
It would have to be at least 22 degrees at night.
Oh, can arrange that.
Yeah, he's converted.
Can you get a diesel heater in a tent?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
They're called hand warmers, but... But there we go, folks. This is Haddon Hill, all done and dusted. Again, I am going to be keeping this place for a wild camp in the next month or two. I really want to get back out in the tent ASAP. And if you are watching this and you're only here for the tent camping, yes, it's coming very soon, I promise you. But for now, we say goodbye to the infamous Shropshire Hills landscape. What an absolute awesome walk that has been. So we've actually come a different way back now. I'll put on the screen now the route we actually went up, and when we got to Haddon Hill we sort of came back the same way, but on the way back halfway we took a different route back, and I'll put it on screen now, the route that we took, so we can just see the vans in the distance. And I think it's time to crack open a beer. That was one hell of a walk. Right, it's time to tuck you into the beer. chill out and get wrapped up. It's Baltic. And tonight's choice for tea, we're having chicken noodle stir fry. We've got mushrooms, peppers, spring onion, and all that cat going in. So I'm not going to bore you with any of this because I know you lot don't like seeing it. I might show you the end product because I'm sure it's going to be lovely. It's getting late anyway, so hopefully nobody turns up and shifts us on. That's one thing I am quite conscious about tonight, because I know the Longmynd and the National Park have started clamping down on it, but those guys wanted to stay here. Who am I to argue with that? It's a cracking place. That is tea all done and dusted for me. I couldn't eat all of it, so I give probably a good third of it to Matty, but unfortunately old Tez has had a bit of an accident. So basically what happened was he was cooking his tea on his table coming out of there, and I said to him, I said, just go and ask the lads if they want any of my tea. Unfortunately, as his tea was cooking and he went to ask, the wind knocked over his windshield. It all dropped on the floor, but luckily his tortellini landed in the box for the cooker. Stroke of luck for you there, mate, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll send him a picture so you can have a look what it looks like.
The Shropshire Hills. What's not to like, folks? Lawley, Caradoc. Then over the backside you've got Willstone, Hasler Hill. The other one, forget it, I'll put it on screen here. Raglith Hill. All of the Longmynd. Beautiful spot. Really enjoy it up here, and I've said it on numerous videos. People love the Peak District, the lakes, and don't get me wrong, they're beautiful places, but here, the Shropshire Hills, it really is a hidden gem. And if you do come and visit here, you've got Church Stretton as well, which is the main, it's like a small town really, but there's cafes, outdoor shops, chippy, pubs. Go and support the local community and come and use the Shropshire Hills, because this is bloody ace up here. Look in here now, folks, look at him. He's a posh bugger, isn't he?
Pop it on.
No, I'm good, thank you, mate.
Okay.
But thank you for the offer.
Yeah.
Look
Just had
at
steak.
that. What have you just had?
Steak and mash.
Steak and mash, and what have you had, mate?
I've had a bit of your stir fry.
Yeah, it's obviously not that good because he hasn't eaten it all. Right, new person to the channel. You've seen him previously as we've just been walking up through the Longmynd, but here is Matty. Matty's going to introduce his channel and introduce how he stays in his car.
It's not going to take long because I usually have a better setup than this, but it's called I'm windy and it's cold and I want to get the bloody hell in.
Tell everybody what your channel's called, Matt.
So it's called Matty's Adventures for anybody that wants to know.
Link just up here for you guys.
It's a Vauxhall Astra. It's a 2014 model. So for anybody that wants to know, the mattress only cost me about 50 quid. And that's it, that's the entire set.
And to be honest, you wouldn't think one person would be able to sleep in a Astra hatchback, would you? But yes, it can be done for those of you that are watching who's got a Vauxhall Astra. That's great, mate, that is, yeah. You happy with it? Yeah,
it's alright. You know, I wanted a more stealthier sort of car camper.
Yeah.
And that was basically the best build I could get.
This
so.
proves that it can be done in any car.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. I mean, you've proved that as well with your Renault Grand Scenic.
Yeah.
And Ad with the same in his Grand Picasso. But there we go, folks. That is his vehicle, and into a car camper. I need to try and zoom in to show you this, folks, but the sun is over there reflecting through the clouds, and look at that it's giving off there. Absolutely stunning from up here. Look just up over there as well, but it is starting to disappear now as the sun sets. Oh, ladies and gents, it's finally got to that time where it's time for me to hit my head on that pillow. I'm absolutely shattered. It's not so much because of the hike, it was because of an early morning. I've had a cracking night out here with the lads, and the sunset we had earlier where, well, it wasn't so much a sunset we had earlier, but the sun already dipped behind the west side of the Longmynd, but the sun, as it was setting, was breaking through the clouds, and it was such a lovely red glow. I'm just hoping we don't get moved on tonight. This is such a lovely place, and it's the same with every place I go. It always gets respected. It's always going to be cleaner than how it was when we arrived, because we always bag up rubbish, as we've done with the wild camping that you guys know if you've been a long-standing member to the channel. But I'm hopeful we'll be all right, but only time will tell. Anyway, I'm going to bed. I'll see you lovely lot in the morning. Good night. And a very good morning, folks. Well, the time is 7 o'clock. I've just woke up. Well, been up for about half an hour actually. Made myself a coffee. Look at this for a view. I just can't get enough of it. And it's just been an absolute awesome night. We had no bother whatsoever, which I'm very grateful for. Like I said though, even though there is no overnight camping, no overnight stay signs up here, it really bugs me, all this does. If we're looking after these places and if we're making them better than what they were when we arrived, they might sort of let us stay here a bit more. They might be a bit more tolerant, but yeah, it's these no overnight camping, it all needs to change, it does. But successful night, great night's sleep, and a cracking view to wake up to, folks. I mean, this is what it's all about. We had a good walk yesterday. Granted, it wasn't that far, but it was still quite uphill to get up there. But yeah, this is ace. Right, just gonna sup my coffee, get squared away here. It's time for breakfast. Using the trusty grow what this weekend. Look at that for a view. This is just what I want. Great views, leave no trace. That was certainly a peaceful night's sleep, folks, and I'm just going to enjoy this view right in front of me. And I think it's about time to end the video at this awesome location where it's been absolutely fantastic. We didn't have any trouble. All of our rubbish has been picked up. Anything that we found extra just lying around the bushes, we've picked up. In fact, I'll show you quick, just because a lot of you might think, yeah, whatever, mate. But yeah, just in there's like the odd tissue and that we've picked up. As I always say, every camp, leave no shiz. Let that place be a lot better than how it was when you arrived. So, from this awesome place in the Shropshire Hills, I just want to say a massive thanks to you guys for joining me on this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Cracking walk up there yesterday. And thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you on another adventure.